Everybody, it's Melissa. Why do I get a lot of compliments on my fragrances? I already know there's going to be people in the comment section saying that, I wear fragrances for me, not for anybody else. I don't care about compliments. No shit, that's step one. You know what I mean? Those are the type of people that would brag that they know how to float when literally everybody else around them knows how to swim. It's like, of course you got to put primer before the paint. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I got this comment on TikTok. And this girl was saying, she's like, I think you being attractive has a lot to do with the compliments that you receive. And very sweet comment. But I truly believe that a lot of fragrance compliments have more to do with being approachable versus just straight up being attractive. Because, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that are very attractive that when they smell fantastic, people compliment them because they want to start a conversation, right? But if that person is attractive and they smell nice, but they look like they don't want to be bothered, majority of people are not going to approach them, and that's totally fine. So I think it really comes down to approachability and open body language. I think I've told y'all about that. Whenever I'm in social settings, for the most part, I really don't like being on my phone. I want to be present in the moment with the people I'm with. Even if I'm by myself, I got no problem just sipping on my drink, just scanning the area, enjoying my time. You know what I mean? And that in of itself makes it easier for people to be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, by the way, sorry to interrupt you, or I don't want to be weird, but you smell really nice, versus if you're just on your phone. Because I get a lot of people kind of get itchy in social situations and they want to look busy and they feel like they look lame if they're just sitting there and there's nobody with them. So they always feel the need to just be on their phone. But even if you smell great and somebody is thinking that and they want to compliment you because you're on your phone, it kind of is a deterrent. It's like, okay, they're probably busy, don't want to bother them, but yeah, they smell good. That's probably what they're thinking in their head. So being approachable, very key. Another thing that I've noticed is that 98% of the fragrances that I receive compliments on are never the beast mode loud scents with insane scent trails. If I am wearing those fragrances, it's very much only one spray, at max 2 sprays, because I don't want it to be too loud and too obnoxious. But the fragrances that have a decent scent bubble that, are very moderate in projection seem to be the ones that I get the most compliments on, because for the most part, I like knowing that, first of all, people know that it's my fragrance. There's no confusion of, when they step into my scent bubble, oh, who's smelling like that? Of course, they're going to know that it's me. With these loud scents, when you walk into a room, sometimes people are wondering, hey, where's that coming from? Or somebody else could potentially get the compliment of your fragrance when it's not them, but somebody else thinks that it's them, right? And that actually happened with one of my followers. He told me on YouTube Live, he was at a restaurant. The waitress thought that the guy on the table next to him was wearing the fragrance, but it was actually him. So she complimented that guy and he was confused. And of course, he didn't want to step in and be like, actually, it's me that you're smelling. Because how, like that would just be super off-putting and everybody would just be like, oh, okay. So I like having those intimate sort of scents. And I do feel like a majority of people find that to be sexier because they know you smell great. And the closer you get to them, it's kind of like as if it reels your nose in, right? So whenever I'm meeting somebody for the first time, I give them a hug, they can smell it. Or sometimes those hugs, like, when people close their eyes or they just have those nose to the neck reactions when you're wearing a fragrance, a lot of those moments come from wearing intimate, moderate projecting fragrances. And the ones that you guys hear me talk about nonstop, like lately Lafayette Street, I've talked a lot about Salt and Pepper doing that for me. Like those scents are just money when it comes to those type of reactions. I hate the word. Why did I say money? Those fragrances are great in those type of situations for me. And again, this video is just me sharing my experiences. Everybody's experience will be different, and feel free to share yours in the comment section below. All right. But another thing is being aware of the type of fragrance you're wearing to whatever situation or environment you're going to put yourself into. I understand that a lot of people watch compliment getting fragrance videos and you'll see a lot of loud scents there, like Baccarat Rouge, Ultra Male, right? And people will wear these loud scents that are supposed to be for clubbing or nighttime events to school or work because they want compliments from it, but it just does not fit the situation, and it becomes more off-putting to people around you. It comes across as you kind of lack that social awareness of why is somebody wearing just like a loud fragrance. I'm trying to take my history test, or I'm literally just trying to get through my workday and they're blasting with their scent, you know? Another thing is, of course, and I would get this comment on my DMs in particular, where people say stuff like, hey, I bought Baccarat Rouge off the site you recommended, and it's a fake bottle of it. I don't even smell it after 30 minutes. Nobody notices the fragrance on me. And the thing is, they'll wear it, they won't get any compliments on it, and the next day they'll overspray it just to be like, okay, maybe nobody can smell it on me. And of course, after 30 minutes of like overloading your nose with a fragrance like that, it's freaking fried. Your nose will not be able to pick it up. It's going to be nose blind to it. That's very normal, by the way. You going nose blind to a fragrance, whether you overspray it or not. But definitely going overkill will do that to your nose with a strong fragrance like Baccarat Rouge. And then this person goes to work or to school, and again, they're met with no compliments, no reactions from their fragrances, because most people are just off-put by it. They're like, what the heck? No one really likes it when it smells like you showered in your fragrance, because it comes across as either, for one, you're trying to cover up some wild ass smell, or number two, you just don't have consideration for other people around you, and you're desperate and you're being a try-hard for attention. And a lot of people don't like try-hards, you know? A comment that I would receive on YouTube, I'm hitting all these comments today because these are the most popular ones I'll get, are from people that are saying, oh, well, you get, like, compliments come like if you have money, then people will compliment you, like women will compliment you. That's always coming from that breed of insecure dude that is like, oh, you have to flex so that you get compliments on it. I gotta be real with y'all, okay? People that try to flex, they try to get like the bus on, they try to act like there's somebody in these situations. They don't come across as people that are wealthy, all right? That definitely comes across as broke behavior. You're just trying to get attention in whatever way you can, because most people that have stuff like that, why try to show it off? If you got it, you don't need to do all that. You know what I mean? But it is still super off-putting. And also, when you're in a social setting, when you first see somebody for the first time, and you really think that person's gonna go, oh, that person has money, I'm gonna compliment their fragrance. In what world, bro? Like, it's just so like out of touch, and it's a lot of, I gotta say it, a lot of insecure dudes is cop out to why they don't get attention in real world situations. They have to blame it on something that they don't have. So like, oh, it's because, you know, I don't have money like that. That's why they don't, blah, blah, blah. They're gold diggers. Yeah, trust me. There's a lot of reasons why you're not getting compliments. And that's the reason you think is definitely not one of them. All right. Or it could be, but there's a lot of things higher up on the priority list that you need to work on before that. But anyways, another thing is, for me, what I've also noticed is the fragrances that I really love. And of course, I know it sounds like common sense. You got to wear what you like. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you wear what you like. All the compliments that come from that are just a cherry on top. They're just a bonus, right? So enjoy your fragrance. But the ones I really love, women tend to love even more than I do. And I would always get this sort of question from people saying, hey, what's the fragrance that you wear because you love it, but everybody else around you hates? And there's literally not one that's constantly in my rotation that I feel that way too. Everything is always very, very well received when I wear it in public. Now, just so you guys know, a lot of the compliments I get are from women. Sometimes if I'll get a compliment from a guy, it's with a fragrance like Elysium. That one's a crowd pleaser. It really doesn't matter. People just tend to love it. But I'll get that reaction from, like with the ladies' reactions, with something like Salt and Pepper. And it's always very interesting, because what you have to remember, guys, is the female nose is different than the male nose, right? It's not, people are not going to be attracted to the same thing. And even with that, it can sound like a general blanket statement. There's a lot more intricacies that can happen. But for me, being a lesbian and liking wearing masculine fragrances, when I smell a masculine fragrance that I like, I'm like, ooh, this is good. And for sure, when I wear that in public, it is like really, really well received. There has not been a time that I liked a masculine scent and it was not received well from women. There's literally never been a time for that. So I understand when guys would be on my channel and they'd hear me talk about something like salt and pepper, which I've talked about for probably over 2 years now, even before the brand knew who I was, before there was any discount codes involved, I was talking about that fragrance. And I understand it's a particular niche that would understand it and love the scent, because if with guys, when they hear me talk about it, when they smell it, they could care less about salt and pepper, which is what I always tell y'all. It's not a fragrance that's attractive to a guy's nose. They'll just think it's whatever. So when they hear me talking about my experiences with it and the stories I have with it, and then on top of that, they see something like a discount code attached, they're thinking, oh, well, she's just trying to make money because this fragrance, it's not really that good. She has to be lying about those stories. When in fact, the thing is, it's just sexy to women. And because you're not a woman, you don't understand the sex appeal that the fragrance has when it's worn. You know what I mean? And just kind of on top of that, me talking about that fragrance, that applies for other, that code applies to other fragrances from that brand as well. But you're not going to hear me talk about every fragrance from that brand because I don't like every fragrance from that brand. Luckily, that's the one scent that I really gel with, that I really rock with. But there's really no need for me to lie about situations and experiences. And I think if you're new to my channel, just so you know, this channel I find to be for the people that want to smell amazing for themselves, of course, but that are social. If you have that social life, if you're actually interacting with people in the real world, then this is the channel for you. It's not for the people that are looking for the most artistic, complex fragrances where they're with their fragrance buddies online and like they never meet in person, but they're just talking about, oh, this release is so fantastic, I love this, and you know, that sort of level of niche fragrance love. I have recommendations for those people, for sure. I know what they would like, but am I wearing those fragrances on a daily basis? No. So the ones that you guys hear me rave about, the ones that you hear me give my experiences with, those are very real and they come from like those real world interactions that I have with people and just me documenting that and sharing with you guys, okay, so I went to a bar last night, or I went to a party last night, I wore this fragrance and this is the compliment I received, or this is what somebody said about it. All of that sort of stuff is real. So I'm very happy that the fragrances I really love are just absolutely loved even more when I'm wearing them in person. So I really believe that the combination of everything I said, what were the 4 points? I think there was 4 things I said. Of course, what was it? Not wearing something super obnoxious and not like wearing something moderate has been good, because, you know, when you're having those conversations, it draws people in. It's like, okay, it's tasteful. I think that's what it is. I was going to try to list everything else, but I think I said a lot overall. But I really believe that is, and being open. Now I'm remembering, hold on, being approachable, wearing, you know, like a moderate fragrance that's tasteful enough where people can smell it, but it's not overwhelming, and fitting the fragrance to the situation. And then just on top of that, like loving fragrances that will receive really good reactions, like 100% when I'm in public. All of that, like that whole, all 4 of those things, I believe are the main reasons as to why I receive a lot of compliments on these fragrances. And I know some people will be very skeptical and they're like, well, how come you talk so much about compliments? It has to be like a lie at this point on stuff. But really, guys, it's not. I think for a lot of people that, whether it's your job or you just talk to people on a daily basis, compliments are not like hard to come by when you're actually interacting with people. You know what I mean? And you present yourself in a way that people are comfortable enough to approach you. So I know it can seem like such like a different world, and like when you hear one person just talking about this, and it can come across like some sort of way. It's not. Like, these things very much happen to a lot of people on a daily basis because of their demeanor and because of, you know, their just the way that they hold themselves to be and the sort of fragrances that they rock. So I hope that kind of helps. Let me know in the comment section below what fragrances have done really well for you that you really enjoy. And yeah, so some people can just be looking in the comment section to see what they like. All right, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.